I was this close to going viral on TikTok. Crazy, right? Listen to this. So 3 years ago, I was in a phase where I was making a bunch of content online geared toward K-12 teachers and students and really following this sort of motivational speaking pathway, right? Everything I was doing was geared toward that. However, me and my family, we ended up moving to China and we stayed there for about 3 years. I was a teacher and then I became a department chair, yada, yada, yada. Yeah. But needless to say, I was still creating video content for YouTube and for Instagram. I got this idea at one point, I don't know why, but I was like, you know what? I don't have a TikTok. TikTok was really big in China, well, kind of big in China, but it was super big in America. So I was like, why don't I have a TikTok? I should have a TikTok. I should continue to build views and engagement. One of the things I struggle with on Instagram and on YouTube was just getting engagement. I was getting opportunities to speak at different places, and that was cool, but I just wanted to establish a more powerful social media presence, right? So I create this TikTok account, and I post a couple of videos, and mostly just videos I just was kind of recycling from the other platforms I was using. But then one day, I was really deep in studying about a topic, and I found it really interesting, and I think it lended itself to the voice that I had, and the presence that I had at the time. And I made a video, put it on TikTok, and then, just got off, and that was what it was. The next day, the most interesting thing happened. I had, 50 comments, 50 comments on the video. And I was like, that's interesting. I'm a small time creator. Getting 50 comments in a day is very, very, very rare for someone like that, or at least in my position. So, I went through the comments and I was looking at them. I was like, okay, this is interesting. I'm replying to all the comments, and it was going really smooth. It was going really smooth, and I was really happy with what was happening. Maybe at about, I don't know, 1 p.m. that day, I look back on the TikTok account. There's 200 comments. And I'm like, okay, I don't know what happened, but this video is really popular. Now, I don't want to say a lot about the video because I don't really want to, give you any ideas about what kind of content to produce. So I'm not going to tell you what the video was about. Just know that it wasn't a video. It was like 30 seconds. It wasn't a video where I was just like super controversial. And I wasn't like saying anything bad, in my opinion, about anyone at the time. And, I felt like the majority of my content is pretty smooth sailing. I try to avoid, any bashing of any people or anything like that. But I think what I did say was a little bit judgmental, and the TikTok audience started to show their frustration. So when I was looking through these 200 comments, and this was crazy, I noticed that there was a lot of hate comments. Like, there were some good comments, people who agree with what I was saying, but there was a lot of people who hated the content that I made. I mean, they were saying, you can burn. They were saying, this is trash. You'll never be blah, 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 blah. You're a blankety blank. And, I'm just looking at these comments, and I'm not taking anything personal, because I know how social media works. But my wife, I told my wife about it, and she was like, dang, this is really taking off. But is that really what you want? Is that really what you're trying to, is that the direction that you're going? And I'm like, dude, I got exactly what I've been making these videos for. Like, every video that I've made up to that point was to get more people involved, to get more people to comment on the conversation, to get more people to jump in and engage, right? So I'm like, forget about it. This is good. Everything's going right. Right. What am I supposed to say? The next day, I woke up and there was about 500 comments on the post. So now I'm completely done answering comments. Like, I'm not responding to these comments anymore because I responded to some of the negative comments, just like saying like some lighthearted stuff like, yo, why do you think this way? Or what causes you to feel angry when I say what I said, blah, 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 blah. Being real fatherly, being real fatherly. And people started to make videos about my video. Now, this is a whole new realm for me. I've never seen anything like this before from myself. I've seen it from other way more popular people than myself, and I start to see this view count rise and rise and rise. I don't remember what the view count was. I just remember the comment section. It's like, dude, that a video is taken off, if you see 500 comments on it. So I'm looking through these comments and I'm watching these videos that people are posting about the content that I made. And I'm like, oh my God, like this is a whole nother level of hate. This is a whole nother level of disgust. And I'm really starting to feel the weight of it. And of course I'm communicating with my wife and showing her. And then eventually she's just like, she stops talking. She completely stops talking. And she's just like, Yep, that's crazy. That's crazy. And at that point, I started to think a little bit more deeply about what was actually happening. And though I had created this work, I created this video that was taking off, that was getting attention, and it felt like the beginning of my ascension. Like I was taking off and my ideas and thoughts were taking off. And I'm like, oh, people are listening to this. Now all I have to do is follow up with the next idea. So I start planning, I'm planning things out. The next day goes by. There's 975 comments. 900, it really wasn't 975. It was 900 and something. I don't know what the number was. But I was like, what is going on? And then I start looking in the comments. There are people in the comments arguing with each other, and I'm not even in it anymore. I'm nowhere in this. Like people are having these long 3-paragraph responses, like over multiple messages. And I'm like, bro, what is happening? And a part of me felt really accomplished, but another part of me felt like this is not what I want. Like, I don't want people talking to each other like this. I don't want to make it as if I'm, saying something disrespectful to other people or judgmental to other people or making people feel bad. That's not what I'm doing. I was supposed to be making video for K-12 students and K-12 teachers to inspire them, to motivate them, to help them push to the next level. I wanted to be visiting schools. I wanted to be touring and talking to youth groups and encouraging teachers, right? But nope, I was really caught up in the amount of attention that post was getting that I almost got completely sidetracked. And this is where I think a lot of people fall into a trap, right? And I would call it the engagement trap. You might call it the view trap. It doesn't really matter what the heck you call it. It's a trap. So there I was with this video that completely took off, and I was also dealing with the fact that it was causing so much tension in the community that was commenting on the post that I was just really caught in this dilemma. I was caught in a dilemma where I was trying to decide whether or not I was going to follow up with another video or whether I was going to completely delete the video and delete my TikTok and just be done with it. Because that was how strong it was. It was like either I'm far this way or I'm far this way. There was no in between for me at the time because I felt like I was about to cross a line that could probably be good career-wise, but probably be, a little bit shaky moral-wise. So I decided to make a follow-up video. I did. I made a follow-up video, but this one was geared toward a different audience. But it was the same kind of content I had been making, like in terms of the content that was getting the views, the content that was getting the attention. I felt like it kind of fell in line with that, but it was just kind of the opposite audience, where this video was geared toward this audience, this next video was geared toward a separate audience. And to be honest with you, I only made the video because some people were saying, well, why don't you talk about this group? Or why don't you talk about this group instead? Or you better say something about this group. And I felt that pressure, that weight, like just closing in on me to make something to appease this crowd of people who were angry with what I had made. Now, some of you might be looking at this saying, look, dude, you're taking it way too seriously. You had 900 comments, get over yourself. You didn't really go viral. For me, I did. And to have 900 comments or a bunch of different people going at each other in your comments, some praising you, some completely destroying you, to have people making videos about the video that you made, for me, that was the closest thing that I've ever gotten to being a celebrity or being popular ever in my entire life. So, go figure. But I made that second video. And when I made that second video, I felt different about it. I didn't feel proud of myself. I didn't feel like I had really done what I had set out to do. So I deleted it. And not only did I delete that video, but I deleted every other video except for the video that was going viral. And that's because I was so caught up in watching the views go up and watching the comments continue to increase. Over the amount of 4 days, that one video had gotten more attention than any video I had ever created. In fact, all of my videos combined, all of the content that I've made combined, every social media post that I've ever created in my entire life was outdone by that one video because it was controversial. So maybe another day passed and I just said, you know what? This ain't me. I don't want to make videos like this. I don't want to make people feel bad. I don't want to be so caught up in being controversial that I lose the purpose behind why I'm actually creating this stuff. So I deleted everything. I deleted my TikTok. I deleted my YouTube at the time. I deleted my Instagram, all the videos associated with that type of content. I deleted it. In fact, every single video that I had that I've ever created, I deleted every single bit of it. And that's because, I felt like I just was completely off track and I had no idea where I was anymore. I had no idea what my direction was anymore because I was so caught up in getting the views and getting the attention that I lost sight of my main purpose, my why. So that was the end of that journey. So the internet definitely rewards controversy, but that doesn't mean that has to be your main drive for creating content. In the comments, if you've experienced something like this or you have a similar story, let me hear it because I am super interested in how this situation might coincide with some of the things that you've experienced. But this was a piece of my life, and some people might look at it and say, you should have kept going down that road, establish content for your family, for your longevity, and for the salary, for making more money, for blah, 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 blah. I get it. And you might be right. But again, like when I think about the things that I believe in, when I think about, my spirituality, when I think about Jesus, when I think about my path toward, just being a solid follower of Christ, it makes it very difficult to feel comfortable making anything that offends other people or that makes people, or causes strife in some kind of way. So I want to encourage you, if that's your path, or even if it's not, Jesus, if it's whatever it is, just encouraging people to do positive things for their own lives. I think that's most important, not making judgments about other people. So, yeah, that's my story. If you found anything in this video that added value to your life or to your day or to the content that you're going to create, please make sure that you subscribe or like the video, leave a comment, share your story, do what you do. I appreciate you for even coming across this video. I know it was long, but I thought that it was something that I should at least share at some point. So hope you guys have an awesome day and keep creating. Keep creating, but be positive and add value to people's lives. Later.